Hello, my name is Ricardo Duarte, and I'm a PhD candidate with the new University of Lisbon within the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities. And I've started my PhD in 2019, and it's still ongoing. And what motivated me to continue with my studies and develop my studies was both my passion for ESL teaching, which I've been an ESL teacher for about a good 25 years now, and my passion for the Eurovision Song Contest. How could I combine the two and make it work? Well, that was my original idea, which I hold to this day, on developing something that would combine the two fields, however disparate they may be. So I thought, well, why not use Eurovision material in the classroom and develop that as a learning tool? Well, how do I do that? How do I go about motivating my learners to develop their English skills with using the Eurovision Song Contest? Well, over the course of my studies, I have used things like materials such as fill in the blanks exercise, text analysis exercise where we analyze the text behind certain songs. However, that did not reveal itself to be what holds Eurovision apart from everything else. How might Eurovision, or the specificity of Eurovision, benefit English language learning? How might that be unique, and how might that promote learning? Well, and develop learning. Over the course of my studies, I have developed beyond gap-filling exercises and text interpretation exercises, and I'll turn to the more contemporary side of Eurovision. And we have debated with students in class, or developed discussions in class of things going on at the Eurovision Song Contest. And I have taken those issues and asked them to develop research and present it to the class in some way, be it via PowerPoint or whatever form of presentation they would like to use, to develop a discussion, to develop perhaps even a debate in class over issues such as the Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, the importance of queer identities, and more recently, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict in the Middle East. Now, these were some of the topics that that my learners chose to develop, chose to work with and present to the class. And they revealed to me that they thought this type of exercise was actually motivating, in the sense that it was different from anything else that they had ever used in an English class, and it was different to the research for other subjects in school. I currently work as a secondary school teacher and high school teacher in Amadora, Portugal, which is a suburb of Lisbon. And over these last 3 years of research, students have developed very elaborate research on these topics that I mentioned, as well as others. Now, what I have noticed up to now is that the benefit of Eurovision is that it accompanies European history and European contemporary history, to be more specific. history is ongoing, history is developing, and whatever issues are going on in the world, or rather in Europe, seem to be reflected in some way at Eurovision. Now that leaves it open for ongoing development and for different issues to come up as time goes by. There's one presentation which, for example, which surprised me because the students that did this presentation were grade 10 students, and they went back as far as 1991 to the fall of the Berlin Wall in '89. And in the late 80s, early 90s, as history was changing in Europe, a few songs reflected that at Eurovision. And that's what this small group of students chose to present to the class, the ongoing history of Europe reflected at Eurovision. This leads me to believe that Eurovision is perhaps something which is always ongoing, which is always developing. And so the topics that it may generate are also topics which accompany the history of contemporary Europe. And perhaps that is one of the secrets to its success, the development of, or its ongoing development, and the fact that whatever is happening may in some way be reflected at Eurovision, perhaps taking a more contentious tone at certain times, but it's going on, it's happening, and it's somehow reflected at Eurovision in various ways. So perhaps this is what keeps things new, what keeps things contemporary, and what is a part of the development of English language learning and the development of European history. And this is perhaps the advantage of Eurovision as opposed to perhaps more mainstream music, is that there's always an issue to be developed. There's always something new to talk about every year. And as I've said before, it's perhaps one of the keys to success over the years, and perhaps this is why it's always new. And so perhaps the advantage of using Eurovision as a learning tool is that it develops learners' critical thinking skills within the study of their English language development. And this is what I would like to present as a topic, as what I have been researching, as a topic that I have been researching.